Hello you lovely people and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Alouette 3 that was released recently by Taog's Hangar over on flightsim.to, and let's just get straight into it. Just for a heads up, I'm not a rotor head, so if I miss anything out or if I don't sound like I know what I'm talking about, that's because that's probably the reason why. Fixed wing is usually my sort of thing. I have flown a few helicopters on other simulators and on I have flown a couple on here but didn't really get on with them. But the reason behind the purchase of this particular helicopter is nostalgia. Nostalgia can be a bit of a bugger when it comes to impulse buying. I grew up going to the Mildenhall Air Fetes and the Royal Netherlands Air Force or Army would send over the Grasshoppers display team, and it's been so ingrained into my head, the image of all four of the helicopters facing each other and then going round in a circle, and the noise and the shape of the helicopter. It really is a big memory for me as a child, and well, yeah, so that's why I'm here now doing this. So what do you get for your nearly 25 Great British pounds? You get two variants. You get one on wheels and one on floats. With the floats you get three liveries. You get the Canadian Coast Guard, Danish Navy and Marine Nationale. The wheeled version, get quite a few more. I've not added any custom liveries. I'm waiting for a Grasshopper livery to be made by somebody, hopefully, so I can add it. But you get the prototype, you get the three branches of the, well, three branches that was used by the French, Marine Nationale, Gendarmerie Nationale and Armée de Terre. You've got civilian security, air glaciers, the Austrians, Portuguese, they've got two versions there. You got United Nations, Fight for Life, Tokyo Fireboard, Indian Navy, Indian Air Force, Canadian Coast Guard again, Danish Navy again, civilian variant, and last but not least the Irish Air Corps. Now I never actually saw a Irish Air Corps variant when I was younger, but this is the livery I'll choose for the review. Going to be doing all of our flying in the Shawbury area. When I get up in the air I will probably fly to Turnhill. Gives us a nice little distance between bases, so I can give it a go. So let's jump in the cockpit. Now the first thing I noticed when I first got in the thing was that the co-pilot sits in the middle and there's actually three seats in the front. So that's a bit of an odd arrangement, but just shows you the just how wide this thing is. In terms of a small helicopter, you can actually cram three people in the front, unlike the Gazelle, which is very small in comparison. In the back we've got a bench. You can see a few more people, and looks very nice, very nicely modelled. Textures look really good. And if we come down to the centre, down here in the centre in the middle, you see a row of switches here, and these are all your add-ons that you can add to the aircraft in Sim. So we've got things like skis, winch, equipment box, HEMS configuration, which swaps out the bench seat at the back for hospital equipment, I believe it is. Flotation pods for the sides of the aircraft, so if you have to ditch it will stop it from capsizing. Next to that we have our winchman megaphones at the front, side steps, big antennas. I'll go through these as we go along. Panel shader and a trapdoor. So looking around, also you can click various bits to open doors. There is one here and over the other side as well. Okay. You can't open, well, it's advisable not to open the front doors until the rotors have stopped moving. So you're basically trapped in the aircraft until the engine has decided to stop. If we jump outside, have a look at the aircraft. As you can see, it's absolutely beautifully modelled. It really is. Like I say, I'm not a rotor head, but absolutely fantastic job has been done on this. Liveries look excellent, and the add-ons that you get with it as well, as I progress through the review, just really impressive. So let's jump back in. Okay, the wind's blowing the blades around there. I don't know if the rotor brake is on. Nope. Stick the rotor brake on so that it stops the blades from spinning. Right, so add-ons. Let's start with the skis. Back outside. There you go. So now you can use the helicopter in snowy environments. Okay, so we'll swap out the skis for the winch and the equipment box. If we come over to the port side, we've got the equipment box on the side there and also the winch at the top. If we go ahead and add the crewman, the operator, as you can see now, we now have a winch, well, not a winchman, an operator hanging from the winch. I've not tried swinging him around yet. I don't know if that's possible, but it'd be fun to try. Let's take those three off, and we've got HEMS configuration. So like I say, there's all the hospital equipment, life support, whatever, and a stretcher. Take the HEMS off, and what's next? Flotation pods. So say they're on the sides of the helicopter, so you have to ditch in the water, it'll stop it from capsizing. Okay, take off the flotations, add the megaphones, we'll add the side steps, big antennas, panel shader, and the trapdoor. And you can see we've got big old antennas up here at the front already, and then coming out to the sides here. You've got your megaphones, there's your big antennas or aerials, side steps. As for the trapdoor, I've not been able to locate that. No trapdoor in there that I can see. That's one switch that I can't figure out what it does. Okay, so remove the trapdoor, panel shader, basically puts a sunshade and takes the brightness out of the cockpit. We'll keep the big antennas and the side steps, we'll remove the megaphones. Okay, so I will fly in this configuration. Let's close everything up. You have to click the internal switch. I don't know how I'm going to do the back doors actually. I might have to fly with them open. Yeah, so we'll fly in this configuration. It might be a little bit noisy, but let's get this thing started. Engine is running, rotors are spinning, a little bit noisy. I managed to find the actual way to close the doors. So you can see dynamic sound there. You click there, it will close the back doors. But that high-pitched whine is the sound that, whenever I look at a picture of an Alouette 3, that is it's like when you see a picture of a TIE fighter, you instantly think of the sound of the engines. That's the same for me with the Alouette 3. So everything's alive. We've got a Garmin type GPS device down here, all our nav equipment, radios, and all our various dials and other things, all in the green, which is good. Now I will say, ground taxiing this thing is an impossibility. I can't do it, no matter how hard I try. And also there is an issue with the well, I don't know if it is an issue or if it's just a characteristic of the helicopter, but when you initially take off and when you come in just before touchdown, the rudder really starts to kick in to port, so you have to give it a real boot full of right rudder just to keep it in line. I guess it's some kind of torque steer perhaps, I don't know, I'm not an expert like I say, but there is that to look out for, and you will probably see me fighting that shortly. So let's take a look outside and the sounds. So I purposely didn't speak during that because there was no point, it's just too damn noisy. So let's take the parking brake off down here. Okay, we aren't going to roll anyway. Also another little thing, little Easter egg type thing, which is perfect for me. If you look under the co-pilot seat and click it, how to fly a helicopter for dummies. That was brilliant. I had a good chuckle at that when I first saw it. Right, so let's get this thing off the ground. Now, like I say, it's going to be a bit of a wrestle to start with. In fact, I'll put a little bit of tail rudder in now. Okay. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of rudder there, a lot of torque steer. And as I can't ground taxi, I might as well hover taxi. Okay, you don't have to advance the throttle very far. I've got it about 50%. I can take my foot off the rudder pedal now, and it's pretty much pretty stable. I mean, I can't let go of the stick, but it's very responsive and very stable platform, which is quite surprised, to be honest. So we need to head to the northeast. Okay, and I found that if you advance too fast, it starts to fight back at you. If you go over 200 kilometers an hour, it will really bite and kick back. So keep it under 200, which it would be about right for this sort of helicopter. So yeah, it's like I say, very responsive, very stable, lovely to look inside the cockpit, very well made. Flight dynamics are really good. Apart from the fighting with the rudder on takeoff, like as I said. So there's Turner Hill just in front, and that's where we'll be landing. You can see the runway just there. We head towards that runway. Did you? If I don't know if you noticed that, I've gone over 200 kilometers an hour, and it starts to kick backwards like that. Really doesn't like that sort of speed, so treat it with a bit of respect. Okay. Apparently there's a way of trimming it, but I've not been able to find that. doesn't do anything when I use the trim switches. Okay, so bring the throttle down slightly. Like I say, if you think my flying is awful, that's because basically it is, because I'm not a helicopter person, as I said before. But I am trying. Okay, so we'll start making our approach and start making preps already. If we go round, there we go, bit of blade slap. Who's not a fan of that? Jump outside quickly. I love that sound. It just looks so good and sounds so good. Really am a fan of this, even if I can't fly to save my life. We have a performance chart here in the front. Can't really read it from here, but it's there if you want to have a look. Let's see if I can get the thing on the deck without putting the undercarriage through the cabin. Okay, so as we slow down, you're starting to fight against that tail rotor again. Sometimes you have to really give it everything that the right rudder has. Nice if I could get it to hover. Jeez. Right, so I've got full right rudder. Stick it on the runway. Okay. Right, okay, blimey. That was fun. Squeaky bum time. I'm not, like I say, I don't fly helicopters, so yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the summary. Okay, so in my haste to do the summary, I forgot to do the float variant. So I'm just wedging this in between the wheeled variant and the summary. So basically going to take off from the Queen Elizabeth. We don't have a Danish Navy ship to take off from. And I'm just going to take off from here, land on the ocean, and then come back on again. So, like before, keep an eye on that rudder. as we slowly increase the throttle. Okay, and as we are in the ocean, I'm not going to travel too far away, as there's no point. But yeah, we'll attempt at landing on the ocean here. Don't want to hit the water too hard. That seemed a bit hard to me, but okay, you're going to need to keep a little bit of right rudder on to stop yourself from spinning around in circles, obviously. So let's take a look outside. I'll say it looked very good. Let's get ourselves up in the air again. Don't trust it at the moment, as I don't have any friction. There we go. Let's get back on the deck. Not sure what I'm doing here. Okay, right, so that's the float variant. Yeah, simple as that, really. I say simple as that. I've really had to concentrate hard. So to summarise the Alouette 3 by Taogs Hangar, it's a very, very capable, very solid helicopter for flight sim. The way it behaves, it flows, there's no rigidity to it. It's very nice. Even with an inexperienced person like me, I was able to get in it, follow the startup procedure with no problems, and fly it without any problems. Well, I say that again, the torque steer will bite you in the backside if you're not expecting it. But now that I've learnt its idiosyncrasies, I feel I've got a handle of it now, and you can really chuck it around. It will take some abuse. Fun little helicopter to fly. And is it worth the 24.90, I think it was, or 95? Yeah, the amount of detail that's gone into it, the dynamics, the way it flies, handles, a lot of work has gone into that, and I would say it's worth the money that you're paying. Everything's clickable, everything is well, I mean, it looks fabulous. The extras that you get with it, the little winch, the operator, different loadouts, you can turn it into a medevac helicopter. The configurations are good, and also flying it on water as well. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I was very surprised. Like I say, it was a nostalgic impulse buy. The next one's going to be the C160 when it releases. So yeah, I'm glad that my impulse was a good one, because I have had bad experiences with that not so long ago. So yeah, I'd give it probably a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, there's still room for improvement. Maybe push it to an 8. And it's yeah, very, very good indeed. And I hope to see more from Taog's hangar if this is what we're to expect. So, if you got this far, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.